I hope everybody is having a super blessed day. I hope you are all well. Oh, nothing but crazy shit and nonsense all over the news every day at this point. There's a few things we're going to get into this wonderful Sunday afternoon. First, we're going to say, all glory to God, Jesus is King. Thank you for the things that we cherish. Thank you for the things that we can complain about. Thank you for the things that we don't see that we have. Thank you for giving us what we need, Lord, as to not build up treasures here on earth, but with you. I am not a preacher. I am not a teacher. I am a horrible, sinning piece of crap every single day. And I just want to say that I'm doing my best to take example from the Bible. Some of these things are new to me, but not new to me at the same time. New to me is in the fact that I'm strictly turning to God for what I need at this point in time in life. Um, so I've prayed to quit smoking cigarettes, and I've successfully not had a cigarette in, I think, 3.5 weeks now. I've stopped keeping count. It's been long enough for that. This has lasted me 2.5 of those 3.5 weeks. So I'm doing pretty well on that front. Um, been a little less vulgar. That's nice. I've asked for the discernment and understanding to keep myself a little calmer and articulate a little better for you guys. So we're going to be on a short live here this afternoon, maybe do a longer live tonight. Um, but we got to get into this situation that's happening with the mass shooting in California, and there was another shooting in Philadelphia, and we've got children in Philadelphia going on TV saying they want to destroy America. It's fucking nuts, okay? It's absolute insane what's happening out here. So let's get into, I guess we can start off with, I didn't turn the monetization on because we're going to be commenting on some stories that are happening here.
This up on your screen. It's from Brooke Taylor with Fox News, saying exclusive. An Afghan national was arrested on Tuesday after posting a video of himself on TikTok, indicating that he was building a bomb with an intended target of the Fort Worth area there in Texas. This is all.
Do we all know why this is an important bit of information that we're going to have to keep talking about, because more and more things keep happening every day? Because at the same time this was happening is the same time he's from the same province and came in on the same program under Joe Biden and in 2021. So Afghan national also came in under the same program, also getting ready to commit a terror attack of momentous importance. But at the same time, you got two petrol tanks, what are they, 30,000 gallon petrol tanks being caught on fire yesterday, and video of people running away from that, or a day before yesterday or a couple days ago. At the same time frame, all of this is going in together. And then you got the warehouse fires that nobody can explain right now. And then in a moment here, in California, Saturday, at a children's party, and they won't release the identity. They have no identity of a suspect. So we all know if it were a white guy, everybody would know that. So it's going to be a usual suspect, or it's going to be something fucked up. So in Stockton, California, 4 people killed, murdered, and 10 injured in a mass shooting there. They went into a child's birthday party and started shooting people. So I highly doubt that they don't know who did it, and I highly doubt that there wasn't a bunch of footage, because it's 2025 and everybody has a fucking cell phone that's on one click button and go to social media. So yeah, we'll be finding out some information about that. Let's get back into this asshole that should have never been in our country.
According to the Department of Homeland Security. I want to put up some video that we have there of that suspect in full there on your screen. But we do know that court records are showing that the man is now being charged with making a terroristic threat at the state level. He came into the U.S. as a part of the Biden administration's Operation Allies Welcome, just like the D.C. shooting suspect. On September 7th of 2022, he was admitted as a lawful permanent resident. ICE has currently lodged a detainer on him. Once again, that is the current update that we have there from Fox News' Brooke Taylor, with them now reporting there that the Afghan national was charging Fort Worth, Texas, has now been arrested, according to the Department of Homeland Security. I do want to also show you this live look that we have there in Dallas, in Fort Worth area, there in Texas. If we get any other updates or details.
Let's add some context to this, since it's Fox News is also mainstream media. Let's add some context. This guy made a video of himself and posted on TikTok of him building a bomb while he's saying, I'm building a bomb and I'm going to blow up half of Fort Worth. So let's make it very clear that this was going to be an extreme terror attack on the probably level of maybe 9/11. You know what I mean? And we're just at the beginning of this. I explained to you when this happened with the National Guard. I explained to you when this happened with Donald Trump on my birthday on July 13th, that this was just going to escalate from here on out. Okay, so we've got the escalation of Donald Trump, then Charlie Kirk, then we got the ICE agents being shot at numerous times, rammed with cars, numerous people attacked, numerous people beaten in the streets, 269 different mass shootings from leftist-inspired assholes, Islamic terror attack forwarded on Halloween that had 8 Afghani nationals, because an Arabic national is the one that they arrested and charged with terrorist activity for that. Then we've got, and they were targeting gay people, by the way. You got to remember, they're all targeting you people on the left. They're targeting your left cities because you go against them more than we do, and we're more of a threat. So the usefulness of the useful idiots is over. We are no longer, people keep saying civil war. This is not civil war. These are terrorist foreign actors. This is just war. We've been invaded by a foreign country is what's happened. This is just war. It's not civil war. It's foreign war, and these are foreign actors. So keep that in mind when we're going through all of this stuff, you know. And wait till we get to these speeches that they're doing in the cities right now. Holy fuck.
Begin with breaking news. We're following breaking news out of Stockton, where there's been a mass shooting at a banquet hall that's left 14 people shot. At least 4 people have died so far.
We have 2 crews on the ground right now. We want to start with team coverage. KCRA 3's Denson Cortez and Peyton Headley live at the scene of this mass shooting. We want to get to Denson Cortez first. So Denson, we've seen something really interesting there. This is a residential area of the shooting investigation, and now there's some kind of interesting protocols that they're doing.
Hold on.
Right?
First off, they keep saying residential area, urban area. This is fucking Stockton, California. Okay? If you know anything about Stockton, California, I lived there in the 90s. There are gangs everywhere in Stockton, California. They made songs about it forever. Okay? So when you look at the shopping center that this was in, there's a fucking O'Reilly's, there's a Dollar General and a Dairy Queen and a small shopping center. So when they say banquet hall, I'm thinking it was a Chuck E. Cheese or something. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind too.
There is, Andrea. So we are on the west end where Peyton's at. We're on the west side of Lucille Avenue. I'm going to step aside right now. They're actually putting down that barrier of tape to allow some of these cars to access through. When I spoke with an officer earlier, he says what's determining people to go in and out is the circumstances. We don't know if
this is all stupid gaslighting for no reason,
as Peyton reported earlier. So he said that they were fairly loud to where he was able to hear, I mean, just on the west end of Lucille Avenue. So just imagine the magnitude of these shots. But he says this is a fairly active area of Lucille Avenue and Dawn Avenue. And also it's a neighborhood watch area as well. So for people that are in the area near Delta Sierra Middle School as well, if you could call the number 209-946-06.
So once again, I'm going to say a crowded event with numerous people there, 2025 one-click button on your cell phone to have a video. Enough time for 14 people to be shot. 4 of them died. They're also not showing any of the people that were at this party either. So I'm gonna have to lean towards there's a reason for that. Maybe a melanin count reason. I don't know. We'll find out though, right? Eventually, maybe it's Stockton, California. Who fucking knows? And the release, like the cops haven't even come out and made a statement about this at all since this happened. So I have a feeling we're going to find out something stupid. They are saying though that this was a targeted attack. Children got shot. So, but this is just the
100, and that's
the
again,
layers of things that we're going through.
0600. Officials are asking any individual that has any information to reach out to those numbers and come out and speak. But right now, our officers are putting that perimeter on this west end of Lucille Avenue to find the suspect or suspects.
So, if they're having to release a phone number to get any kind of information, that means even the people that were involved in the event and the birthday party aren't willing to speak about what happened to the cops. So, I mean, it is Stockton, California, you know.
Live in Stockton, Denson Cortez, KCRA, 3 News.
Yeah, we should mention, again, 14 people shot, 4 of them dead. The shooting investigation focusing on a banquet hall at Lucille Avenue and Thornton Road. Denton is in the residential
Again, more
area,
like a Chuck E. Cheese,
we saw just
not
moments
a banquet
ago,
hall.
law enforcement actually checking IDs and trying to figure out who lives in this neighborhood. And that really tells you the seriousness of the fact.
Not a lot of fancy banquet halls and shopping centers with the Dollar General, O'Reilly's, and Dairy Queen. You know what I mean? But there are a lot of Chuck E. Cheese and shit like that. So keep in mind when they're giving the news, it is mainstream news, and they're in a liberal area, so they have to make it look good. Prove that. Prove it. Show some proof. Show some evidence. And not retarded shit either, like, because you people are stupid and you can't put together text or emails of a
That they're
shit
still
that's
looking
already
for the
been
person,
released and proven
or people
debunked.
who are responsible for this mass shooting that we saw happen here in Stockton just before 6 tonight.
And the authorities haven't given us many details in terms of, suspect information, but what they have told us so far is that they say that they believe this was a targeted incident, and they are right now trying to find a suspect, and they're asking for people's help, anyone with information to contact them. They're looking for, witness statements. They're looking for surveillance video as well. You see this map on your screen to kind of help you understand. So Denton was kind of in the more residential
You telling me they ain't got no cameras in that area in Stockton, California? Come on, bro.
There's a shopping center with a Dairy Queen. That is where that banquet hall is. That is where the primary focus of this investigation is.
That Chuck
at
E.
this point.
Cheese.
So we want to check in with Peyton
Not that
Headley, who's
banquet
been
hall.
on this story from the very beginning. Peyton, tell us where you are for context and kind of share with us any new information you've been able to gather.
Yeah, well, we are on Thornton Road here near Lucille Avenue. The intersection that we are at are with Thornton Road
Right.
and Waldman, and this is a
Let's move on to the next story because a lot of things get interesting in these. Let's see, where are we at in this one?
And then we're like, and the liberal, we will sacrifice. Anyway, bro yells, screams, threatens to blow himself up to kill people for the sake of, I guess, peace or something. It is the religion of peace after all. So for the
Shout out to Nuxnar. I don't know how old this kid is, but I'm just gonna say this kid. But he's got a pretty decent channel. He's funny to watch.
Thank God they arrested this guy, which is great because for the longest time, incitement to violence was basically shrugged off, and people never took that seriously. So it's pretty.
So wait till you hear this shit that's about to come up.
Now,
Watch
again,
this. This is fucking insane.
Philadelphia, for the record, it's insane that we need to do this, but this isn't Philadelphia. We will sacrifice our souls without hesitation, says children in Philadelphia. We will chop off their heads, and we will liberate the sorrowful and exalted Al-Aqsa Mosque. For the record, that is a mosque that's in Jerusalem on the ruins of the Temple of Solomon.
Bro, this is like straight. Listen, Look, me and him had the same
Why are we
reaction.
teaching children to become rebels.
Look, this is literally, this is what they do in Afghanistan. This is what they do in Syria. This is what they do in all the Muslim Emirate countries. This is how they raise their children up. And they teach them to go after Jews. They have songs about it, cartoons about it, all kinds of crazy shit. And listen, I've been exposing this shit in Florida with the CAIR. I read you their main statement yesterday. That shit's fucking insane. Christians, patriots, human beings. This is not political division any longer, okay? We are no longer in a political sphere in this country. This is a foreign terrorist ideology that's brainwashing our children and trying to take over our country. These are, listen, there's signs happening all over the world right now. We're going to get into a little bit of religious ideology here, okay? Because you know that 24 volcanoes just erupted within 24 hours all over the fucking world, right? Like the setup for the great earthquake that will be what happens before the armies of God have to rise up against the armies of basically the Philistines and the demons, which are the Muslims. Okay, they still run under the same insignia of the crescent and the star. This is what's going on right now. This is what it talks about in Revelation. So, and to understand what they're talking about in Revelation, I put down a few things you can go check out. Okay, so 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3, Genesis chapter 5, verse 8, Revelation chapter 20, verse 4, Revelation 14, verse 11, 12, verse 11, 15, verse 11, all tie into right now what's happening. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. This is all things that I came up when I was going through my Bible last night. No, Trump doesn't. See, that's where you people are stupid. Trump is the president. Let me, hold on. Jesus. Okay. Trump is the president of the United States of America. His job is to work with foreign leaders because we are the daddy of the world. Okay. And that's what we do. We bring peace around the world through our strength and through our pure savagery. And Daddy Trump has to go in these rooms with these people and say, no, don't do that. Of course, a president has to meet with a world leader. And if the president would have killed that world leader on American soil, then we would be at war with all of those countries that stand with that world leader. Do you understand? That's the job. Well, that's where you're fucking retarded and you don't know it. It's his job to take bribes. Hey, what bribes? Show me some evidence on any. This is the problem with America, and this is why we are going to have to denaturalize and deport people that are in our country that shouldn't be here any longer. Because if you're too fucking retarded to understand the concept of words and definitions, you can't live in a civilized society. Because you're just going to go, ooga booga, throw your poop at people. And that's what you guys do. You just fucking get pissed off. You start slinging poop because you sit in a room together and you sew your mouths to each other's assholes and then you all regurgitate the same shit. And you never look at any facts. You never go onto any government websites. You never do any research. You queers for Palestine. You've never read a Quran in your life because if you just got past the first 33 pages, you would understand the entire Quran wants to murder you. You know, you people have no common sense in your brains. You have no truth, no knowledge. You don't live with God. You live with demons and the devil. We literally are to the point to where we don't care. We don't care anymore what you say, what you think. Oh, my rights, my pussy hurts. Nobody cares anymore. Like the fatigue with all of you people, all of you terrorist criminals, because that's all you do. You hurt people, you maim people, you're miserable, you hate yourselves every morning when you wake up and look in a mirror. So you want to go out and make everybody else miserable. And you want to sexualize everything, which is fucking weird. See, Babylon, so you're Babylon, you're Babylonians is what you are. And it even says right in the Bible in Ezekiel, leave Babylon to their ways. Do not mingle with these people, because God has given you the power to destroy Babylon and make them fall under your heel. Okay, we don't have to tolerate the Jezebel spirit. Revelation, this I have against you. You tolerate the Jezebel spirit. You allow it to lead my children into sexual immoralities. And see, this isn't politics for us anymore. We don't care about your politics. We don't care about your pussy hurting. We don't care about any of that stuff. We care about the fact that you have brought a faction of foreign enemy terrorists into our country that want to murder and rape our children. That's what we care about. We care about the fact that you're so low IQ and retarded that you can't even see the fact that you have single-handedly brought our country to the point that no other country in history has ever come back from. Do you understand? You've made it to where good people that just want to live their lives and be left the fuck alone are now coming out of the woodwork and getting themselves prepared for the coming battle. So you're like, oh, is that a threat? Yes, it's a promise. It's an absolute promise. If you think that good Christians are going to sit back, anyone that's ever read Revelation or any of the books of Daniel or Ezekiel understand where we are right now, okay? So if you think that we're just going to sit back, we don't care about your little insults. We get retarded people just say things. They don't understand things. That's why Muslims fuck their first cousin to keep their IQs low. And they say it flat out. We prefer low IQ Christians because we can just indoctrinate them. But let's get back to these terrorist children that have been raised up in our country on our streets.
Philadelphia. Yeah, hot take. I don't actually think this is good. I don't think the school system is working as planned. But anyway, so we will chop off their head.
So this ties into what I told you about here in Florida, like where these guys are getting charged in Tampa for hate crimes against Muslims, but which there's no such thing. Muslims are not a protected class in America, and you never will be, and we'll never accept that as true Americans. No. Okay, first of all. Second of all, it's the CAIR, the CARE of Florida. You can look it up. You can go check out my live from the day before yesterday. We went through all of this. They have a very hateful mission statement. Okay, they're also tied in with the Muslim Brotherhood. They're also deemed foreign terrorist actors in 2 other countries and in Texas. Okay, but they have their own Muslim police. They have their own Muslim lawyers. They have their own Muslim judges. They have their own little communes here all over Florida. They have imported, in the past 4 years under Joe Biden, they have imported 750,000 Muslim nationals into my state alone, just in Florida. That's not including the 2.6 million illegals in the state of Florida. So these people have imported whole armies into our country, and this is the shit they're doing. We're going to go through, I'll tell you some of the stuff. I don't care about your SNAP benefits. I work every day until my fucking fingers bleed, bro. I don't give a fuck if you get free shit off my tax dollars. I don't care about that. Good. Go to your church and get some food. That's what the church is for. You should never be subsidized by the American government. Ever. Ever. The only thing that's worthwhile is the fact that you're trying to murder us in the streets. Nothing else matters. You can't fix the economy when people go out and commit billions of dollars worth of damage, and all of your jobs are being outsourced to people that'll work for pennies on the fucking dollar that don't pay taxes and aren't legally in your fucking country. So you can't fix shit until you get rid of the fucking assholes. So that's a fact. You're right, because it's Muslim this or Christian that. You're absolutely right, because that's what's important right now. See, to people that actually contribute to this world and actually have this money taken out of our taxes and don't live off of SNAP and social programs, you're welcome. Because if we weren't here, you wouldn't have that shit. And Muslims aren't going to give you any social programs. There's no social programs in Muslim countries. Their social programs are they're going to fucking murder you. So they don't have to worry about you sucking off the teat of their fucking God any longer because you're fucking infidels to them. They're all going to fucking murder you. That's the only thing that's important in this country right now. All you talk about is this, or all you talk about is that. Okay, let's talk about the fact that we're going to get $18 billion added to the economy in the next 6 months off of tariffs, and not including the $15 trillion that the own Democrat NGOs had to come out and admit that it's going to bring into our economy in the next 5 years. Okay. It's been 4 months since the tariffs started getting enacted, you dumb fuck. You know, it takes a year or two for tariffs to actually go into place, right? So the fact that we've already gotten a few $1 billion off of this and have already deported, not anywhere near close to what I would like to, but have exposed the corruption of the left, the fact that all of Donald Trump's court cases have been dropped and dismissed, the fact that milk is down by $2, the fact that gas is down by $1.50 across the board, the fact that the only places that it's still expensive, like super, super expensive to live right now, are your blue states. In Florida, you can rent a 4-bedroom house for fucking $1,200 a month, bro. You can get a mortgage for $1,200 a month and you'll own your fucking house. So, I don't know what you're complaining about, because you see my videos, I post my lunch and my dinner almost every day. I eat meat every day and I pay for that with cash that I work for, you know? So, I'm not a doctor. I'm a half-retarded, ugly old son of a bitch redneck sinner. That's what I am. That will get on here and to the best of my ability bring you the truth and knowledge that I can drop every day. So, okay, let's look at this in two ways. Let's look at this from a critical standpoint. Do I like 50-year mortgages? No, right now. But look at inflation over the years. Okay, so you have a 50-year mortgage, so you're set in at a set rate. So when inflation goes up every 2 years, like it does, always in America. So when inflation goes up, and now when somebody's trying to buy a home in those next 2 years, and the inflation rate has gone up, you're on a fixed rate. You're still paying that same amount on your house, okay? Then when everybody else is paying 3 times what you're paying on your house is worth what theirs is, but you're paying less money on your house now, based off of the inflation rates. So think about it like that. It will be easier to own a home, and you will have more equity to come out of your refinance over a 5-year period than you would if it were on a, it used to be like a 2 and a 4-year mortgage, and then it's gone up to 10 and 15-year mortgages. But I don't like 50-year mortgages, but we're going to look at it from a critical standpoint on the fact that Joe Biden tanked this economy so fucking bad that we are just pretty fucked. You know what I mean? So we're going to have to take extreme actions to rebuild the country. Your generations, for Gen Alpha, Gen Z, you don't have enough people. You understand that, right? When my generation dies off, you literally can't fucking run this country. You don't have enough people in your fucking economy to run it. You have the lowest birth rates of any generations ever. You're at 40 million in Gen Alpha, 60 million in Gen Z. My generation was 130 million. You know, you don't have enough people to run your economy. So we got to do some extreme shit so you can actually have a future. You're welcome for that, by the way. Stock prices have gone through the roof, regardless of you retards that have never used the stock before. Every time a tariff gets raised and then it gets lowered, the stock prices go up hundreds of percents. Do you understand that, right? And then people cash that out and they make money and they invest into the economy. Tariffs stop traders to this country like you from buying products from China at a cheap rate. So instead, move your companies back to America and buy from American makers, invent things in America again, bring steel back to America, bring this back to America, bring that. No, a tariff is not a tax. It's completely different. It's a company-based. Taxes are consumer-based. Tariffs are company-based. So the company is paying it, not the consumer. The company moves that price onto the consumer. They don't have to. They still have that 13% margin where they don't have to do that, but the company is greedy and they want more of your money, so they move that price over to the consumer in the store. But they don't have to do that. because they don't have to pay that tariff. They can go to a local American farmer and buy the same product locally, fresher, right here in America, and not pay those tariffs. You don't have to pay tariffs. You just buy shit from America, and you don't be a traitor to this fucking country and buy from all our biggest fucking enemies. That's the point of tariffs, is to bring industrialism back to America. You get that, right? Tariffs aren't to take your money. They're not to make shit more expensive for you. It's, we think you should be punished for buying from our greatest fucking enemies. If you're going to shop on Amazon and you're going to buy from China, you should pay more money for it. If you're going to shop locally and buy from American citizens that helps your actual local economy, then you're not going to be punished for it. It's just that simple. It's America first. Fuck China. Fuck all these other countries. America first. That's what tariffs do. We have more history and tradition in America with tariffs than we do with taxes. When America was a good, rich economy was when we ran on tariffs. And then we started taxing, and we started a private company, which is the Federal Reserve. It's only called the Federal Reserve, but that is a privately owned company. That is not a fucking government entity. So it is what it is. Let's get back to some more of the crazy stuff going on in the world. So as you know that the National Guard member died. And I don't pay more for American products. What are you talking about? I pay less for the shirts that I make for my company that are made and assembled in America than I do ordering cases of shirts off fucking Amazon any day of the week when I buy them in bulk. Every day of the week. So I don't know what you're talking about. I can buy products online from Dixie, USA, and get them shipped right to my house, local in America, and they don't cost me, it doesn't cost me more money. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's made better. It's not made by a company that purposely makes their shit cheap and breakable, so we have to buy more shit and push their economy so they can overthrow ours. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate goal for these tariffs, is to make you people want to actually shop in America again, so we can have carpet factories here again, so we're not getting all of our shit shipped from a third world country that's got all kinds of weird bugs and shit that aren't supposed to be in our country. You know what I mean? You get food, like you go to Aldi's and shop, nothing at Aldi's is made in America. It's strictly a foreign company that has foreign products, and they're taking over all the grocery stores right now. So yeah, go spend more money at Aldi's because you're fucking shopping with Germany instead of America. Abso-freaking-lutely. That's a beautiful idea. Love it. 100%. You don't talk about the 12 wars that have been stopped under Trump. You don't care about that, right? You don't even talk about the fact that numerous times Trump has said, release the Epstein files, and now they have passed a bill to release the Epstein files. So we will have the Epstein files. And the fact of the matter is Trump played you Democrats masterfully on that one. Because when we say release the Epstein files, you're like, no. And he's like, no, don't release the Epstein files. And the Democrats are like, we're going to force you to release the Epstein files. It's like if Donald Trump went outside right now and said, that's the greatest pile of dog shit I've ever seen. People tell me that dog shit is just beautiful, but don't eat dog shit. It'll make you sick. You go outside and you just shovel your mouth full of dog shit right now, just because Donald Trump said don't do it. So now we know all we got to do is get Trump to say, don't do that, and we'll get whatever the fuck we want. Where are you from in Ireland? My biological father was from the Welsh Islands. Yeah, you guys got it fucked up right now, and I feel really bad. I feel really, 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 really bad for my Irish brothers and fellow warriors from Ireland. Because if you guys don't know the history of Ireland, a lot of Slavic Vikings actually came from Ireland, because the Vikings migrated over to Ireland and they mixed and made some pretty savage motherfuckers. So King Stephen the Crazy is a direct ancestor of mine on my father's side. Oh shit, I got all kinds of... Yes, American-made products are not tariffed. If you buy in America, there's no tariffs on it. There's only tariffs if you're buying from other countries. It's a way for them to say, don't buy from other countries, buy from your fellow brothers and sisters in America, build up your local communities and your economies, and don't go rob shit and steal people's stuff. And then you'll still have things in your cities. The only reason shit's so expensive in your cities is because you have a city tax, a county tax, a state tax. I don't have any of those taxes. I have a property tax, and I pay taxes on my business license. That's what I pay taxes on in the state of Florida. Okay, and all this stupid insurances you have to have in Florida because of hurricanes. You know, it's a requirement to have all the different types of insurance in the state of Florida. But you guys are taxed so much and so through the fucking roof in all your Democrat cities that it's hard to live. You're suffocating. I get it. It sucks. It looks like there's no future for you. This young generation, you feel like you can't buy a house. You feel like you can't get ahead. You feel like you can't get a job and still afford things. I get that. But you got to understand, Trump's only been in office for a year. We're running under Joe Biden's economy right now. And we will be for the next probably year and a half, 2 years. The country's been fucked. And we're doing our best to get it back, guys. But listen, we have an administration of feckless pussies that call themselves Republicans that are going to war with each other for some fucking retarded reason, when the only thing that should be important is fixing our country. And your political views as politicians should just, all of you should just shut the fuck up. All you politicians, every one of you, right, left, everything, just shut the fuck up, do your job. I don't want to hear what your opinion is on anything when you go in and vote for a bill. I just want you to go in, I want you to vote yes or no. And I want you to read the fucking bill in the entirety to us. That's it. That's all I want you to do. I don't care about your opinions on life. I don't care about your opinion on the bill. I don't give a fuck. What I care about is the people that voted for you's opinion. Okay? What I care about is the constituents' opinion, our opinion. And we voted for you people for a fucking reason, and we expect you to carry it out. Otherwise, Marjorie Taylor Greene's resigning. I've already released some of the information. As soon as it gets closer to time, I promise you, I'm going to release the transcripts from the last state representation meeting. 2 or 3 more, for a fact, prominent Republican firebrand MAGA people are resigning from the House of Representatives. At the same time, Marjorie Taylor Greene is. We also have, at the end of the year, numerous massive social media personalities on the right that are receiving so many death threats and so much stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not giving your names out, but people got to know. They're just about to disappear. They're not going to be on here anymore. You're not going to be seeing them. Whoa. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to stop what I'm saying. I got to digress a little bit here. We got a Marjorie 2028. So let's get into the meat of the situation with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay, we know I've backed her immensely over the years, but over the past 3.5 weeks, she's gone from The View to every single leftist social media account and spoken against everything that we voted for, including deportations, says her construction company will be hurt if we deport these people, so we can't deport them now, and all kinds of other stuff. They go completely against everything we've talked about. Okay, I'm not going to live in a fucking bubble. I talk shit about Donald Trump. I talk shit about everybody that's on my side if I don't like what they're saying. Because I don't live in a bubble. I don't give a fuck. Okay? If that pisses people off, sorry about your luck. But, like right now, we need help in Florida. And the governor that we have is not giving it to us. We have courts in Florida specifically designed for Muslims. What in the actual fuck is going on in my great state of Florida? This is why December 21st is so important. This is why as many people showing up in Tampa, Florida on December 21st is one of the most important things we can do in this country right now. Okay? We have to come together against this shit. These are children, man. These are fucking children. Are you kidding me?
This wasn't filmed in Gaza. West Bank, it was in Philadelphia. And we're like, and the liberal look. It's insane that we need to do this, but this isn't Philadelphia.
This isn't children.
We will sacrifice our souls without hesitation, says children in Philadelphia. We will chop off their heads, and we will liberate the sorrowful and exalted Al-Aqsa Mosque. For the record, that is a mosque that's in Jerusalem on the ruins of the temple.
On that subject, right now, Israel just announced that they're going to take 450 acres of that exact land to rebuild their desecrated holy site. So that is also in the book of Revelation, this happening, okay? Because you got to remember, the West Bank is the same place by Egypt and all those places where David's armies marched through when they were fighting the Philistines. And the Philistines, what was their banner that they ran under? A crescent with a star beside it, okay? So remember this. Keep this in mind. It just, it goes on. We ran through literally the same compilation, but we got to start standing up for everybody else that's out here with their channels as well.
Exactly what I'm. Just so based. The bald Jew once again decides to spit facts. This dude's crazy good. But anyway, that's where we're at. All right, literally with the Palestine flags lighting the street on fire. So again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. Palestine has been a Trojan horse for these people. It really is. None of these people give a shit about Palestinians, least of all the people that started the war. Hamas, they don't care about Palestinians. They started a war, they murder and rape innocent people, they take hostages, they use civilians as human shields, and then when civilians obviously die as collateral damage in a war that was started by Hamas, they get to scream and yell and cower about how, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Oh, look at all these civilians that died.
All right, I'm going to give you a little, I go into this in detail many times in all my life. So I'm going to give you a little back history about Muhammad, besides the fact that he married a 6-year-old and fucked her when she was 9 because he was a pedophile. Okay. So I believe that Muhammad is a piece of shit. Y'all know that. He's a terrorist, he's a warlord. So in the Bible, it states that the angels of light will come to false prophets and tell them that there is a new religion under God that they must follow and lead them in the ways of demonic grace. Muhammad said he met an angel of light in a cave. That's how he got the Islamic religion, the Muslim religion under Allah, a new religion under God, which in the Quran it states everything from the previous Torah is true. So if that's the case, the Quran can't be true. Anyway, long story short, there it is. I don't care what Israel does to Gaza. I don't care. It's their land. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. They've been our enemies of God for thousands and thousands of years, since the times of Moses. These are the same armies, okay, that have spread out and colonized all of the Middle East and slaughtered everybody while they were doing it. So I don't care. 92% of Gaza went in the streets and cheered after 9/11. 92% of Gaza went in the streets and cheered and was happy about October 7th. They voted for Hamas to be their government. 96% of the country voted, the open air prison, voted for Hamas to be their country. I don't give a fuck. There are more citizens there than there are Hamas members. So you're in the Middle East, grab some AKs and fucking take them out. That's all you gotta do. That's it. Do it. Stop letting them use your water pipes as missile silos so you can have fucking water. You already fucked up when Egypt let you in the 90s. You started raping and killing everybody. So Egypt said, no, you gotta get the fuck out. So, as we said yesterday, if you're in this country and you've overstayed your visa, just get the fuck out. If you think you're going to stay here and you don't like this country, just get the fuck out. That's all you got to do. That's it. Just get the fuck out. Okay? So, this is what we like to see from our president. This is ever since the attack on the National Guard. Like I said, we got to see some extreme action from this. Action is what I want to start seeing, though. I don't want to hear these words. Within the next few days, I want to see people get dragged across the street on the fucking asphalt with their face. I want to see these terrorists getting fucking dragged out. I want to see these little punks they're fucking with, because they're still at these Listen, what's happening in Israel is just fine and true. But listen, read your Bible. This has been happening in Israel since the beginning of times. Okay? Israel is set with God. We are not. And we are the new Israel, like the Bible says. We are the new Israel because here is our holy war. Here is our enemy, the Philistines, now infiltrating all of the West. Okay? So in order for the new Israel to be right with Christ, how many of you are going to take the mark of the beast? You all know I fucking won't. You will kill me, chase me down, make me take the mark of the beast. Man, you better have a bunch of motherfuckers. I'll tell you that right now. So this shit's just getting crazier and crazier out here. Crazier and crazier. Well, if you would like a Bible, I will send you one. If you can, what can I, hold on, let me click on you. Let me click on you. How can I do that? I'll tell you what, guys. Go to Facebook, Port Charlotte Trump Group on Facebook, or you can go to my Rumble page. You can message me on Rumble as well. Berserker Patriot 1776. If you don't own a Bible and you want a Bible, I will freely send you a Bible. And I'll get you the nicest possible Bible I can. I'm not going to send you a paperback Bible. I will send you a leather Bible, okay? And I will bookmark some of the passages that are the easiest passages to start the Bible off with. But you do have to understand the context of the Bible. And I will start a playlist on here of things I like to watch before I go to bed at night that help you center your mind with God. That some people have put some really good things together when it comes to the Bible. And hey, I'll tell you what, you really want to get into the Bible? Go to Prime right now. Go to Wonder TV. Watch The House of David. That's the story of David. They did a pretty good job with that. They did a pretty darn good job with that. I got to give them. So go watch The House of David on Wonder TV. Or it's also, I think season 1 is on Prime. But that's the kind of context. You can get a visualization of a fantasy movie type style context. And then you read the Bible and you can put that context into the Bible. And it makes the Bible a lot easier for you to read, guys. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a preacher. Okay. I'm not a righteous man. But I read my Bible, it's sitting right beside me, and I do my best to study the Bible. That's why I gave these verses out for you guys to read today. These are some of the ones I went through last night. And one I didn't mention earlier was Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, Luke chapter 17, verse 1 and 2, and 1 Corinthians chapter 1 through 18. Verse 1 through 18. 1 Corinthians, verse 1 through 18. Listen, I don't know how much more I can say. We just got to come together as Christians. We got to have community with each other, because that's the main thing that's getting broken up in our country is community. When we have community and we come together and we know what's going on in our neighborhoods, we can at least keep each other safe. We can at least keep a watch out for each other. You know, I mean, it's a good idea. If you're out here and you don't have any gun safety training, go get some, please. There are tons and tons of 2A communities in your community that you don't know about that you can Google on Facebook or any kind of app on Google and say, hey, where can somebody help me learn proper gun safety, proper drawing and driving of my firearms? Who can teach me how to properly zero my firearm? Who can teach me how to do certain drills so I'm safer in my home with my children? You know what I mean, guys? Come together as a community. And there's tons of them that'll do it for free. There's tons of people that'll do it for free. They just show up at the range and they'll be like, hey, yeah, we'll give you a hand, you know. Make sure you find good people. I'll make a playlist of stuff like that. Learn how to start a fire without anything. You know what I mean? Learn how to process a chicken. Learn how to process a rabbit. Start off small. Just learn certain things. Learn how to grow some food. Learn how to understand that it's quite the undertaking just to grow a small amount of food for yourself. You know, there's all kinds of things. There's no, if you love God, you must hate all things God loves. Okay, many times in the Bible it makes it very clear. Don't associate yourself with those of demonic grace. Do not associate yourself. We're not like, well, Jesus did. We're not Jesus. We're not Jesus's disciples. We're not the 12. You know what I mean? We are simply children of God that have that small piece that was broken off from the light that was taken from us because of the sins of humanity. And now we have to earn our way back to that light. At one time in history, we were so covered in the light of God, we didn't even know we were human beings, and we didn't know what sin was. Do you understand? That's insane. That's insane, you know? But, I mean, to get back to that, can you think of just me alone, the things I've done in my lifetime, what Jesus had to go through on that tree for me, the blood that was shed for me, just the sins that I've committed, that kills me. You know what I mean? Every single day. And it kills me that I can't be the man that I want to be for God and that God wants me to be. It's not that I can't, it's that I'm not that good of a man. You know, I'd like to be. But I will gladly, for my Christian brothers, give my life in service to you and to God through demons any day of the week. I will profess Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior while that gun is in my mouth, because I will not take that mark. But I love you guys. We're going to get into a couple more things that happened. I'll turn you around. We'll go through some stuff. You know what we need to do? I haven't been on X at all today because it's Sunday and I don't wake up and get on the internet. But let's see the first 5 things that pop up on X today. Let's see what they are. Everything's running like shit, isn't it? Content with women and inappropriate stuff, a Visa commercial. Do you have time for Allah? Yes. Muslim propaganda. This is what I'm trying to say. First thing that pops up, Muslim propaganda. What do we got here? What's happened here? Any people acting like this towards federal agents, yeah, get them. Get them with it. Pop them. That's what they deserve. These are traitors to our country. Anyone acting like this to federal agents, they should be authorized to use deadly force against these people. First of all, they're in the streets impeding traffic. That's illegal. They're terrorizing people. They're throwing shit in the streets, trying to block these officers from doing their jobs. Shoot them.
Literally, your shithole country will become the United States of America. It will sink. The rest, no. So we're not going away. And if we do get sent away, literally, your shithole country will become the United States of America. It will sink. The rest, no. So
what?
We're not going away. And if we
you are going away, we promise. Oh. And then the next day, you end up seeing her on the TV with her head cut off, and she just got raped to death.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
There is a video from Stockton, California. I told you there'd be videos out here. See, what you idiots that have no knowledge of anything and have never been to a Muslim country don't understand is they're encouraged and taught to lie to the infidel to infiltrate their countries. Look at what's happening in Europe. Europe is having to ban Muslims and kick them all out of their countries right now. Japan is kicking all Muslims out of their countries right now. Europe is kicking all Muslims out of their countries right now. Everywhere that's allowed this mass importation of these terrorists into their country, they fucked around and found out, and now there's lines and lines of Muslims being kicked out of their fucking countries. Because there's no such thing as a peaceful Muslim country anywhere in the world. Nowhere. But here's the moral of the story. These are not brothers and sisters of Christ. They deny Christ, and they commit holy blasphemy. They commit blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. I don't have to look at these people as children of Christ. And that it tells me that in the Bible. That only, see, you're giving one verse in that entire chapter of Matthew, and it explains to you in that chapter that that's for the children of Christ. So don't try to, okay, hold on, guys. I'm going to do some fact checking, because that angers me when these idiots do that. And what this person just did is they Googled, where does it say in the Bible this? I guarantee it. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. So, Matthew 5:43. Matthew 5:43, baby. Five. You said 43? Okay. I know I'm going to lose a lot of people when I do this, because the demons flee when Jesus comes out. But one day, we're going to just read 5 all the way through. Okay. One day, as he saw the crowds gathering, Jesus went up on the mountainside and sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. God blesses those who are poor and realize their need for him, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. God blesses those who mourn, for they will be comforted. God blesses those who are humble, for they will inherit the whole earth. God blesses those who hunger and thirst for justice, for they will be satisfied. God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God. God blesses those who work for peace, for they will be called the children of God. They will be called the children of God. God blesses those who are persecuted for doing right, for the kingdom of heaven is theirs. God blesses you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things against you. You are my followers. Be happy about it. Be very glad, for a great reward awaits you in heaven. And remember, the ancient prophets were persecuted in the same way. So we're not even where you were, and we're already showing you the context of your bullcrap. You are the salt of the earth, but what good is salt if it has lost its flavor? Can you make it salty again? It will be thrown out and trampled underfoot as worthless. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that can be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it is given light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father, God in heaven, Jesus Christ. Okay. Teaching about the law. We're down to 17. They said 5 through 41 or 43. So don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings. Okay, I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of religious law and of the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that our ancestors were told, you must not murder. If you commit murder, you are subject to judgment. But I say, if you are even angry with someone, you are subject to judgment. If you call someone an idiot, you are in danger of being brought before the court. And if you curse someone, you are in danger of the fires of hell. So if you are presenting a sacrifice at the altar in the temple and you suddenly remember that someone has something against you, leave your sacrifice at the altar, go and be reconciled to that person. Then come and offer your sacrifice to God. When you are on the way to the court with the adversary, settle your differences quickly. Otherwise, your accuser may hand you over to the judge, who will hand you over to the officer, and you will be thrown into prison. You'll be thrown into prison for leading the children of God away from God and Jesus Christ. And you won't be free again until you have paid at last the last penny. The next goes into the teachings of adultery. So this is all the different, this is the anger and management of God. Let me explain those contexts to you real quick before we go on. The Sermon on the Mount was the first one from 5 through. Then you got the teachings about the salt and the light. You have the teachings about the law of God. Then you have the teachings of the anger management when it comes to managing your anger. Then we're going to have the teachings of adultery and divorce. So to all you adulterers out here, you have heard the commandment that says you must not commit adultery. But I say, anyone who even looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So if your eye, even your good eye, causes you to lust, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your hand, even your stronger hand, causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. You have heard the law say, a man can divorce his wife by merely giving her a written notice of divorce. But I say that a man who divorces his wife, unless she has been unfaithful, causes her to commit adultery. And anyone who marries a divorced woman also commits adultery. Teachings about vows. So if you take a vow, you have also heard that our ancestors were told, you must not break your vows. You must carry out the vows you make to the Lord. But I say, do not make any vows. Do not say by heaven, because heaven is God's throne. And do not say by earth, because the earth is the footstool. So, blessed be upon thee. They make vows to heaven every time they speak in the Muslim religion, and to false prophets. And do not say, by Jerusalem, for Jerusalem is the city of the great king. Do not even say, by the head, for you can't turn one hair white or black. Just say simply yes, or will, or no, I won't. Anything beyond this is for the evil one. You have heard that the law says the punishment must match the injury, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. That's where everybody likes to say, take that. Okay, they ended a tooth for a tooth, and that's all they give you the context of. But I say, do not resist an evil person. If someone slaps you on the right cheek, offer the other cheek. Also, if you are sued in court and your shirt is taken from you, give your coat to them. If a soldier demands you to carry one thing, carry it 2 miles. Carry it 1 mile, carry it 2 miles. Okay, these are the teachings of Matthew and Jesus in the New Testament. Okay, you take that as the context of the New Testament. So you have the Old Torah, you have the Old Testament. Okay, let me explain to you how to take the Bible, guys that don't understand. You have the Old Testament, war, doom, gloom, pestilence, war. Okay, defeating the enemies of God. Jesus did not come to stop the prophecies of the Old Testament. He came to fulfill the prophecies of the Old Testament. So then you have the New Testament. Okay, love. But it also says you must defend the weak in the New Testament. Then you have the book of Revelation, which is also is not the New Testament. It is its own book. It's the book of Revelation. It's not the New Testament. It's the book of Revelation, which tells you what the warriors of Christ and the crusaders of Christ are going to have to do to earn their place into heaven if they're not raptured with the mark of the Lord on their forehead or hand. Do you understand? Okay, so you take the context of the Bible and the context of the times the Bible's put in. So you can go to Revelation and you can find context for Revelation in Proverbs. You can find context for Revelation in the prophecies of Ezekiel and the prophecies of Daniel and the prophecies of Samuel. Okay, and you can find context of Revelation. And the majority of Revelation talks about either the rapture, the coming of Christ, the 7 bowls of wrath that are poured upon the earth before Jesus steps down out of the clouds with the fiery sword for vengeance. So Revelation is the book of judgment and vengeance. And it says in Revelation that the armies of God will have to rise up on the earth after the 7 bowls of wrath are poured out in the great earthquake. You hear people talk about the mega earthquake in the Bible. They're talking about the mega earthquake of Revelation, which is going to be after the 7 bowls of wrath are poured out onto the earth. The mega earthquake's going to happen. There's going to be an earthquake like the world has never seen before. Okay, and everything's going to fall, and people that are left behind. So during the bowls of wrath, all the clean water is going to be taken away. Okay, all of the things that we rely on for necessity on a daily basis is going to be gone. That's what we mean when we say the apocalypse, the end of times, okay? And that is upon us right now, according to a lot of different scholars, according to religious texts, according to biblical text, everything. You can see the signs all around us. So understand that in the past 5 days, 24 to 48 hours, numerous volcanoes, like 24 volcanoes, big, huge volcanoes have erupted, okay? And there's been earthquakes all over the place. There's been tidal waves, floods, all kinds of stuff. The spirit of Antichrist is upon us to the point, and it talks about this in Revelation. It talks about they're going to put the spirit of Antichrist on the world, and they're going to bring people from foreigners from other countries that are going to place walls that go against Christ. And these are the spirit of Antichrist in our world, in our country, and they're doing it all over the West right now. Okay? That are coming upon us and trying to stop this from being a Christian nation and stop us from living under God and under Christ. And we have to fight back against that. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We have to fight back against that. You know? So, I mean, I'm not going to be a part of the 144,000 that have the name of God. I don't think anyway. You know? Who knows? Who knows? But I am a sinner. I'm not a righteous man. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to earn my place to where I'm going, just like a lot of us are. So I love you guys. I hope you're extremely blessed out here, and I hope everybody is safe. Have a good day. We'll get back into this afternoon.